We're continuing to watch these live pictures. This is right on 6th, near Pine, right outside the Tap House Grill. And you can see these anarchists smashing windows there. I can only imagine what it's like for those people in the businesses. And there comes the tear gas, pepper spray. Oh, yeah. And now things are going to get a little crazy. And Seattle police moving in.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
Yep. I can. We're watching pictures of Seattle police in riot gear pepper spraying a crowd of anarchists at 6th and Pine.
I'm at 6th and Union, and there's some shattered glass here at the HSBC office, and people inside just staring out of their broken glass. And I did just see those police in riot gear go past me, and I figured something like that would be happening. You have a better vantage point, so I'll let you describe it. And there's a police officer basically trying to get a protester out of the way using his baton and pushing this protester down the sidewalk as a group of photographers are behind these officers taking pictures of what's happening. A very tense situation as obviously this protester is facing off with this officer, with several officers that are on the street on 6th right now. And I'm not sure, does he have a camera phone?
Yeah, it looks like he's using his camera phone.
He's taking pictures of what's going on. He's refusing to get out of the way. He's now in the middle of the intersection.
Well, he's moving backward, but there, I don't know if you watched it, right when that broke out, it looked like one of the people came up with one of the flagpoles that they're carrying. They're very thick sticks with the little flags on the end, but you can see him, he leaned over and looked like he smashed a window with it. So they're using them to break out some of the glass as well. And that's when police, and I don't know whether this is part of the group that we were talking about earlier with the 15 in the riot gear, they just moved right in and started spraying. And now some bicycle cops moving in to help out a little bit here. So things are picking up a bit. We'll see how this goes.
This group is now being obscured a little bit by these buildings in downtown Seattle. It looks like a big group running down what may be Olive, right near the Bartels there, right near Westlake Park. They're running westbound, around, and now they're heading south on 5th. And that's a small group that sort of broke off from a larger group that was marching. We don't know exactly what's happening now. Let's see if we can get some pictures of them as they're heading down 5th.
I don't know if Bert can still hear us. Bert, if you are still there, I can hear your audio. What are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing the groups starting to disperse a bit, as you said. I can also see some smoke in the air now that I'm at 6th and Pike as well. I can tell you that it appears that they're heading back towards Westlake. And I don't see any police officers in front of me, although I do see a police van. But at this point, they are still moving. And I saw, as I said, some damage along the way, some broken plate glass windows. Oh, I'm at Nike Town, and there's some broken glass over there. Gosh, quite a bit, as a matter of fact.
There's a report that a window has been broken out here at the United States Federal Courthouse. And I think that's exactly the same kind of thing that perhaps you guys have been hearing in the scanner trap and stuff like that. Now I'm trying to actually find this window. This is a difficult building for somebody to strike, really, because it's so well protected. It's got uniformed, what I would call security officers inside. It's got the United States Federal Protective Service outside, and then probably more cameras than any other building in Seattle. So anybody that would do something like this would be a pretty bold strike, and that's apparently what's going on now. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 U.S. Federal Protective Service vehicles on Virginia Street at 8th. We've seen the officers out in riot gear. We've seen shotguns. We've seen, the uniformed police officers coming out of the building, all responding to this report. Although there's a little bit of confusion. It looks that way, like they're trying to figure out exactly where this damage could be, who could be behind it. And I don't know if this is just coming in as a call or if it's been verified yet. But as I say, I simply haven't been able to see any windows broken out here on the courthouse myself. Again, it would not be an easy place for somebody to hit because it is so well protected.
Okay, Chris, thanks very much for that update. We want to let viewers know that this is raw video that we just got into our newsroom of a little bit of a confrontation with a protester and Seattle police in riot gear. You saw them using pepper spray on the crowd. I know there were, I'm sure that the photographer who's shooting this video probably his face is probably burning and stinging from that pepper spray when it doesn't take that much to have an effect. And so you can see this photographer moving down the street. This is near 6th and Pine. Raw video, again, unedited video of what's happening down there on the ground. If you're just joining us, this is video of the federal courthouse in Seattle, the old federal courthouse down there, where you can see doors, the glass smashed. They threw some kind of smoke bomb, and then a group just dispersed and ran away. Seattle police then followed them as they went down 6th, and they continued to slash tires and break windows. This was really the first major incidents of vandalism that we could see on camera. And you can see, again, someone from the right corner, bottom corner of the screen throwing something into the windows there.
You may want to look at the beginning of the tape that we sent you. We were outside of Nike Town when the protest moved through that area. And the photographer and myself got caught up in the middle of that and were shoved and hit with some sticks. And then to add injury to insult, once we got ourselves squared away with the demonstrators and were able to protect ourselves, then we were sprayed with some pepper spray. All of that is on tape that you'll see if you cue that back up to the beginning. We're okay. One of our photographers suffered some scrapes and bruises, and we put some antiseptic swabs on. He's going to be okay. But at one point, as we've seen at WTO and some of the other demonstrations that I've covered in recent times, the strategy of the demonstrators, especially if you want to put the anarchist brand on them, I don't know if that's accurate, but it has become so sophisticated now. They come out of nowhere, they break windows and so fireworks, spray paint windows, do their vandalism, and dissolve. They're gone immediately. And they go from 1 minute just in all black with body armor to the next minute some dudes in T-shirts and shorts standing there enjoying the music. So it was an amazing transition that these people are able to pull off, and an amazingly quick, violent strike, and then escape. And it never ceases to amaze me, but it's even more sophisticated now. And what really struck me is the gear they're wearing now is almost Army surplus, top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking about combat boots and body armor and very, very top-of-the-line protective clothing. And I was just amazed at how efficient the whole operation was. The crowd of, you got to just call them professional deck-raisers, I guess, as they went through and did their business. And then along behind them, the stragglers, those are the people who are getting the beatings and the arrests. And this elite team of demonstrators seems to be able to move through and get through unscathed. I haven't seen any of those people under arrest. And you just never saw them again. They just disappeared.
Interesting. Did you know notice an influx of people? I don't know whether you moved back down to Westlake at that point, but I was wondering, because they were all flying toward that area, whether all of a sudden there was an extra 50 people down at Westlake Park.
That's what I'm talking about. Is they have blended in with this crowd and ditched the clothes, and that's a great explanation there can be, because there were cops all around this whole area, and they didn't really have a way out. So I would suspect they're in among us.
And this is video, that new video that came in just about 5-10 minutes ago. This is when it began. The confrontation began about 5-10 minutes ago, when the Seattle police kind of put a line in the sand on Pike between 1st and 2nd, stopped the marchers, and then this confrontation ensued.
The mayor pointed out that some of the protesters are trying to taunt the police under intense scrutiny, because they're under federal regulations now in terms of their behavior with regard to people that they're following, people, how they carry out their arrests and how they deal with the public. So they're being closely scrutinized by the federal government and by the citizens of Seattle. all of whom have cameras and are closely watching what the police are doing. You're seeing them arrest and take into custody several people who were involved. This is a live picture then at Pike between 1st and 2nd. Several arrests have been made, 2 earlier today. Here's another one as police take people into custody who they deem are causing the violence in downtown Seattle. And
Chief Diaz, in his press conference along with the mayor, anticipated that there would be some trouble this afternoon, late this afternoon, and possibly into the evening, and he anticipated more arrests. He didn't give any specific number, but he's under orders from the mayor for his department to act swiftly and aggressively against lawbreakers, make sure that they are pursued, stopped, arrested, taken to jail, and then prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Jim Foreman has been covering the protest at Westlake and with the marchers that went to the Seattle Center and then back again downtown. As you can see, we have Jim again. Jim, can you hear us?
Well, we're just actually getting here. We're right by the iconic Pike Place Market sign. And this is where police have drawn a skirmish line. And there was a bit of a confrontation, as you've been seeing from Sky King. The marchers are now saying back to Westlake. I don't see any damage. Over there on the left side there, you can see they're actually splitting the groups now, moving one section back to, let's get up on the sidewalk, Jeff. They're moving one group back towards First and letting everybody who wants to head towards Westlake continue heading towards Westlake. But this is a group that did have some people of concern for the Seattle police. They were able to take a number of sticks and other instruments, including a piece of corrugated metal that had been sharpened. But I can tell you, the tone of the police response has changed. Here you can see Seattle police bicycle officers, but in the background you can see far more heavily fortified SWAT members. And if you can see the man with the rifle looking gun there, that's actually shoots gas canisters. So they brought it up to the next level here, and they've gone into full riot gear, not just what they call hats and bats, but fully hardened gear, as well as these two marches are expected to merge and make their way down to the federal building area. So that's it from here.
Hey, Jim, if you can hear us, can you hear any taunts leveled at the police officers from the group you are near? Any taunts aimed at the police?
Yes, constant aimed at the police, aimed at us. You know, there really are two distinct groups. There is an element here from the Occupy protest, the 99% movement, and then there are members of the Bloc who are trying to incite in here. The police, for the most part, are showing restraint. But they just can't allow someone with something that could be dangerous to them to be in the crowd, and that's why the emergency proclamation was signed. So here you see, again, an iconic picture, the Public Market Center in the background, the Pike Place Market, and once again, riot police in the streets of Seattle. We'll swing around. We don't have much battery on our transmission left, but you can see they're starting to march back.
Don't beat up the people of your city!